Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Archers Arena in Cardiff, where we have the final weekend in the Women's Premier League as Cardiff Met Archers take on East London Phoenix. Daniel Routledge, delighted to be joined once again by Commonwealth medalist Charlie McIntyre. Charlie, a real chance for these teams to hone themselves ahead of the national finals in a couple of weekends.
Yeah, definitely a really important game today, I think, for both teams. Obviously, East London Phoenix guiding through to the final against Loughborough, where, you know, they're going to, after last week with a lot of players missing, they're going to want to, you know, maybe try and prove their point this week and get everyone really in the flow of things before the national championships. And obviously, this Cardiff team are going to want to improve from last year and take that third place away from Worcester. So I'm sure they're going to want to fine-tune just like East London. So they've both got similar goals, but for just different outcomes. So it should be a great contest.
East London still a little short-handed today, but they've managed to beat the Archers a couple of times already this season. Let's take a look at the standings going into this final weekend. There is one more game tomorrow between Loughborough and Worcester, which you can see on BBC Sport. Make sure you tune in for that one. But as you say, the order of these teams already established before this game, so this is really about looking forward to the postseason and making sure if you've got any new things the coaches want to just try out, this is the time to use it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's one of them games where they know exactly where they're going to finish, but with playoffs still to play, there's so much to go in this season where, you know, the kind of final finishings really do matters, where you've got one weekend to prove, well, like, what your team have done and to finish as high as possible. So I'm sure, like I said, they're going to want to fine-tune themselves today and make sure they're in the best position possible for that championship in 2 weeks' time.
And just confirmation that tomorrow, the final game of the season, you'll be able to see that from the University of Worcester Arena as they take on the Loughborough Lightning. And then, as Charlie says, in 2 weekends from now, we'll all be in Manchester for the grand finale of the wheelchair basketball season. It's really a great weekend because obviously we'll be concentrating on the WPL, but this is everybody up and down, everybody involved in British wheelchair basketball pretty much descends on Manchester for a weekend of finals.
Yeah, of course. You know, you not only have the WPL, but you also have the National League, Premier League, the Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Junior League final. So you really have it all that weekend. You know, you have all mixed abilities, all mixed ages. You have literally everything there. So I'm really absolutely buzzing for it, to be honest. I can't wait to be there and get to watch everyone play in, and you know, I'm sure it's going to be a great weekend.
Exactly that. And if you want to be there along, you can get tickets from the British Wheelchair Basketball website, and make sure you come along to Manchester and join us for what will be a fabulous weekend of wheelchair basketball. But before that, we've got to finish out the regular season of the WPL, and it is the visit of East London Phoenix here to Cardiff. And we talked about East London last weekend, short-handed against Loughborough, short-handed a little bit again this week. A number of players missing, including Amy Conroy, Fee Tillman, Evelyn Roberts, so there's a few more as well. But what this does do for Coach Addy is gives him a chance to have a look at everybody, look at some different lineups, some different ways of working, and see who can perform. And as you mentioned, last week they saw a great performance in defeat, but positive for them. Here's the Cardiff Met Archers team. They're also missing a couple of players. Brooke Mottram and Fiz Antonazzi not here as well. And but they do have some weapons. And the interesting thing is, you look back at the previous meetings between these teams. Day one, not a great performance from the Archers. Last time they met here, got it closer. Now they'll be trying to turn that defeat into a win.
Yeah, definitely. I think I remember from the last game, it was towards the fourth quarter, it was 7 defensive stops they got in a row, this Cardiff Met Archers team. So they've definitely improved like drastically as a unit. I think they've really brought into what the coach is trying to achieve here, of this like free-flowing basketball where it's not a proper structured, which, you know, with wheelchair basketball, you don't always see that. You know, normally you can see it's quite regimented, and, you know, every team has their plan. But I think what Coach Tom here is trying to do is a bit different, and where the players can really express what they want to do. If a mistake happens, he doesn't seem too fazed by it, as he knows the players have the ability to make out what they were trying to do, whether it's a misplaced pass or a shot. So I think, you know, as a unit this year, they really have improved, and I'm sure they're going to want to try and get that even closer to what it has been the last 2 meetings with East London Phoenix.
And the Phoenix, we talked about who's not here, who is here. Jude Hamer and Beth Wheeler, 2 players more than capable of getting that scoreboard ticking, and certainly 2 of the key players in terms of offense for East London. And Sophie Carrigal as well, with her experience, what she does off the ball, what she does to set teammates up. 3 key players there for the Phoenix today.
Yeah, cool. So as much as, you know, this East London Phoenix team today is a bit short-handed, they've kind of been a bit unlucky where this whole season they've been a bit short-handed, with the likes of Amy Conroy out and Alice McAfee, and, you know, all these players who have been out for quite a few games. So I don't think it's maybe new territory for them. They obviously know what they can do as a unit, and like you said, with the experience of them 3 players there, with Beth, Jude and Sophie, they're just phenomenal players who, you know, they take this adversity of like short-handed teams, and they really, you know, put the team on their back a bit and show their experience and carry the youngsters through the tough times. You know, Jude Hamer's had some brilliant scoring days. Beth's always a brilliant scorer, and Sophie might not be a great scorer all the time, but the work she does for this team is just phenomenal. Like, you know, she makes all the forwards days like Jude so easy, and, you know, I'm sure these 3 players are going to be more than up for the challenge today.
Well, 3 minutes from tip-off here, but before we get underway with the game, a little shout-out to you and the London Titans. Been off to Europe, playing really well, doing big things.
Yeah, definitely. Big up Titans. You know, managed to get the win over Hanover on the weekend. I think we're all still living off that moment a little bit. But yeah, we come 4th overall in a Euro Cup, which, you know, we were playing some of the best teams in Europe. So it was just a great experience for myself and all the guys and girls in the team. Jude and Beth were with us last week. That's why they weren't at the Loughborough game, and, you know, we just had so much fun as a team, and showed maybe what us lot from Britain can do a bit.
Well, very impressive performance. You've talked down your own contribution to all of that a bit. Teed you up there to say how great you were, and you passed it off to all your teammates.
I've got to shout at the team first.
Well, hopefully we'll see some of that level of quality here today as well. But as you say, an excellent performance for you guys to prove it at the European level. And again, that's one of the things that British wheelchair basketball has been doing over recent years, trying to develop the pool, trying to increase the level of quality of both male and female players in this country. And things like that is showing that it's bearing fruit.
Yeah, of course, definitely. You know, just off that Euro Cup even, it kind of shows the development what the BWB have got going on at the minute. You know, we had 2 female players in our lineup, which I might be wrong on this, but I think we were well, except from one other team, I think we might have been the only team there with female players, and I think that kind of shows the levels there where, you know, our female players and female athletes and development as a whole is getting so up to scratch now, where, you know, we really competed as a whole unit, where we're not professional, and, you know, we don't have the resources what these professional clubs who are linked with able-bodied teams do have, but, you know, we're still putting in a massive effort, and, you know, really kind of putting our foot down in the European scene, which, you know, is a huge credit to everyone involved.
Well, it is great to see as the 2 teams head back to the sidelines for their last few words of instruction from the coaching staffs before they come out. And I think it's important here for the Archers to try and build on what we've seen from them in terms of their development over the season. Get a good start, try and get a lead here against this East London team and put some pressure on the visitors today.
Yeah, definitely. I think after their last performance against East London, they won't be asking whether they can do it. I think it's whether, like, they can come out and actually do it. You know, they performed really, really well in the last matchup between these 2, and I'm sure they're going to want to build in it and make it an even closer game. And, you know, they're probably asking themselves whether they could take this game, and, you know, I'm sure that'll be a massive lift just before the playoff games.
Well, talking to Sam Hill before the game, she was very confident and thought the team was right and ready to pull off the victory here today, and we'll see if they can deliver it on court. But as you mentioned before, when they last met here, it wasn't for lack of defense that the Archers won that game. They just couldn't get a bucket when they needed one, and today, if they can see that ball bounce in their favor, it might be their day. But we will see. This East London team still has plenty of quality in the lineup and will want themselves to go into the playoffs on the back of a victory. Well, the 2 5s are out. We're almost ready to go. And the ball is up, and we are underway, and it's Hill who gets the first possession of the game. Looking for options, finds Evans. Nice pass inside. Hill had made the cut, got a little underneath the rim though, couldn't quite get it over the iron. Great outlet pass, look at that. From Hamer to Wheeler, but too strong on the shot. Ball is loose. Hamer will chase that down. In and out on the mid-range.
Yeah, really unlucky attempt there by Jude Hamer. That's normally her absolute bread and butter. She normally looks for that mismatched shot and scores that so well.
Hill with good position, but good position for too long. A 3-second violation called as she was in the key for longer than permitted.
Yeah, I think it's a good start by Cardiff Archers though. They've got two plays back-to-back where they've got a shot right underneath the basket, which is something they're going to look for probably most of this game. So I wonder how Phoenix can respond to stop that.
Here's Carrigill trying to find room in the lane, finds the deck, and the referee's going to stop the play to allow her to get back onto her wheels. It's a good initial move, but just ran out of real estate really between Archer and Hill. Nice pass, and there's Hamer underneath. Oh, that one bobbles out, gets her own rebound. Carrigill with the touch pass, and that one still won't go. Lid on the ring here for East London.
Yeah, I mean, that's really unlucky there, to be quite honest. You know, that's shots which they normally score these kind of things for fun. So I hope well, if they keep resorting to this offense when they get under the basket, eventually they will start dropping.
Here's Carrigill finally getting the scoreboard ticking 2-0.
It's almost like she heard me there.
She was certainly ready for that one in the key. That pass is well overcooked, but you can see what they're trying to do, trying to get it to Hill early on down in the low block.
Yeah, when you play with the kind of size what Cardiff Met Archers have here with the likes of Atkin and Hill, you know, you have to pump that ball into them as much as possible because their shot is so consistent, and it wipes out teams, to be quite honest.
Well, that one rims out for Hamer. Atkin deciding not to gamble by keeping that in play. Sometimes they bounce off the chair. She'll take the sideline ball instead. Evans, nice drive down the lane, through the contact, not quite enough on the shot, but she will go to the line for 2. But just a great first move by Evans to create the space.
Yeah, brilliant move there by Evans to get past Cargill, who's a very experienced and a great defender. So a really nice move to get to the basket and to send herself to the line here for 2 free throws.
Well, first points on the board for Cardiff, much to the appreciation of the home fans. Second one rims out, but there's an offensive rebound, and Adele Atkin turns that into some second chance points.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Atkin.
Adele, sorry, my mistake.
This is the problem with the sister duo.
Well, here's Jade getting a steal.
Yeah, such an incredible player, both Adele and Jade. But you know, Jade's such a big threat on offense. She's just such a big presence. So as soon as she gets in that key, she's just got such a beautiful shot, and she knocks it down for fun.
Got great size as well, and sits very high in the chair, trying to find her sister there for 2, but Hamer coming away with it. Nice pass inside. Cargill's lost her defender again, but can't make them pay. Hill around the screen from Atkin. Cross court to Evans. Evans been given the mid-range shot, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, brilliant shot there by Evans. She tested the defense there just to see if they would jump her, and they didn't, so she's just scored straight in their face there. Wheeling back to defense with a bit of a grin on her face there.
Well, they'll have to jump her next time, that's for sure. Won't want to give up those sorts of shots all game. Here's Wheeler along the baseline. Cargill at the foul line, and that one just bobbles out. They haven't had too much luck off the eye in East London here. Even that one, I mean, on another day, East London could have 10, 12 points on the board by now.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of seems like the roles have reversed from the last matchup between these two teams, where unfortunately last time Cardiff Archers just couldn't get anything to roll in. It seems like that's the day for East London so far. They've got the shots they would probably, you know, that's the perfect shot for them, but it's just not been rolling in.
Shot clock low. Evans has to heave on the buzzer. Doesn't hit the rim, but Hamer's got the rebound anyway. And it's knocked out of bounds. But in doing that, they've lost 4 seconds off the shot clock. Of course, you only get 8 to get it across mid-court. So a bit of pressure here from Cardiff, just to try and make it difficult, maybe force them into an 8-second violation. I don't think they're going to make it here. Brown's not going to get across, and it's an 8-second violation. And that's one of those. If Hamer hadn't got the rebound, it would have been a shot clock violation the other way, and they would have got a sideline ball and probably got over the halfway line. Didn't work in their favour that time.
Yeah, and that was a really good recognition there by Evans, just to see the shot clock and tell her team to push forward, to, you know, really trap that East London Phoenix team in.
Hamer with the defensive rebound. London have numbers here, 3-on-2. Here's Steele. Squares up off the glass, good finish.
Yeah, lovely drive there by DB just to get in, bounce stop, and shoot that straight against the backboard and in. That's a very nice shot, and hopefully that can get the baskets flying for this East London Phoenix team here today.
Evans going quick to the rim, gets those 2 points right back.
Yeah, she just drove straight through that defence there with no one really contesting her properly, you know, and players like Evans just love things like that. She's such a crafty player, and, you know, East London have got to do better there.
Well, Cargill again has found the freedom of the lane. Recycled back out to Hamer. Brown at the foul line. 5 on the shot clock. Back to Brown. Off the mark. And that horn sounds for the shot clock violation, but Archers had already come up with the ball. Here's Evans again, maneuvering well. Nice screen set as well to give space for Atkin to convert the shot, and we'll go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, really good job there by Leah, just to create the space for Jay to drive that little bit closer to the key, right on the edge, just for that little post-up shot there where Jay's knocked it down, got the foul. You know, the coach can't ask much more from this Cardiff Met Archers team here so far today.
Well, East London with the first time out of the ball game, trailing 9 points to 4, and you feel like Coach Orogbemi, I mean, he can't be too disappointed with the looks they've had. They're 2 of 13 shooting, so he'll be disappointed that they haven't knocked them down, but they're the shots that they would be after in most cases.
Yeah, definitely. I think the shots they've got are they're kind of like bread and butter. You know, they've all been inside the key, or all been shots which you'd put money on the players making, but today they've just been rolling out. So, you know, I don't think it'll be a stress in we've got to get better looks. It's just obviously you've got to make them pay for giving you the good looks. And I think on the defensive end they've been really weak so far. They've let Leah Evans drive to the basket on 2 occasions so easily, and you can't let players like Evans do that. She's such a crafty player, and she loves driving towards that basket, and you know they can't afford to keep letting her have that.
Well, that has been, you're right. The one thing he will be a little concerned with is how Archers, in the same way as East London in some ways, have managed to get the shots that they want. Evans going to the basket, the bigs getting in the low block, getting good looks at the rim. Last action was exactly that, where Atkin scored and was fouled, and she will shoot a bonus free throw. There's a substitution here being signaled, but 5 hours should come out of the timeout, so there's only 5 of them on court, so I'm assuming that was just a delayed signal. Hamer with another defensive rebound. She's got 7 rebounds in the game already.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as much as Hamer's done a really good job at getting the boards, I think most of them, unfortunately, have been through Phoenix shots so far. So, you know, as much as that's a good thing for Hamer, I think that's a bad sign so far for this Phoenix team.
Well, they have got 5 offensive rebounds, but no second chance points. And it's one thing to get the ball back, it's another thing to turn it into some offense. Here's Hamer trying to get some points on the board, and there we go. That's more like Jude Hamer.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful pass there by Wheeler across the court, just straight into Hamer's hand, where she doesn't have to think about anything else but putting that ball in the hoop. And, you know, that's a lovely shot. That's a bit of a Jude Hamer, like, textbook basket there.
And that's a pretty textbook Leah Evans basket, weaving to the rim and spinning it in off the glass.
Yeah, like I've said already, you know, this East London Phoenix team have to do a better job of stopping Evans, because as soon as she gets a bit of fire going and gets these drives, you know, she'll be like this for the rest of the game now, hopefully, and they've got to stop her if they want to get back in this.
Well, there's Hamer again on the offensive glass, and this time she does get some second chance points, and she gets another 2 to her name.
Yeah, now Jude's heating up, and once she's heating up, you really can't put that flame out. So I'm sure now she's seen the ball go in that basket, she'll be really confident with them post-ups, and the shots what they got before will be back to being the bread and butter.
That's a nice pass. Atkin underneath, can't quite score. Hamer again with her hands on the loose ball.
Yeah, the Atkins sister duo is lovely to watch sometimes. As much as that basket didn't go in, you know, they seem to be able to create each other's shots so well.
Well, Cargill's had a lot of space in this game, and she's knocked that shot down a couple of times.
Yeah, she's a very, very, very good player, Sophie Carrigill. You know, she's so experienced, and you know, like we've mentioned before, she's not like, you know, the best point scorer, but what she does for the team, and so far, you know, she has got most of the points. But what she does for the team is just incredible. She creates them lanes for the bigs to get a lovely open shot.
Well, player down for East London is 5 Ash, who's back up, so it'll be a sideline ball. Steal back to Wheeler, surveying her options. There's Carrigill again with space at the free throw line, passes it up this time. Adele Atkin had a hand in the face of Hamer. Oh, Hamer had cut to the basket, but the pass from Steele just a little out of reach. Evans again, great chair control. Went through the contact there, no whistle.
Yeah, I think Hamer there just done enough just to play really good cover defense. She initially got beat on the drive, but then just done well to recover herself.
5 Ash off the mark, Hill with the rebound. Oh, good hands from Carrigill. It's going to be an 8-second violation again here. Ball not established in the front court, even though the ball's in the air. Somebody has to have touched it in the front court for it, or it bounces, for it to be counted. And it was 16 as it left her hands, and it was 15 by the time it courted. So too many seconds in the backcourt. Here's Wheeler firing up from 3-point range, not too far off the mark.
Yeah, and that was a brilliant decision there by Sophie Carrigill and Jude Hamer, just to put that pressure on Atkin to force that 8 seconds there. You know, if they can keep forcing Cardiff into mistakes, they're going to keep getting back into this game, and you know, things like that was what you get from that experience of playing at the highest level. And you know, so far these teams have not disappointed us. It's been quite high scoring, and both have really gone at each other.
Well, both of them playing to their strengths as well. It's good to see. Here's Wheeler.
Yeah, exactly that. You can see what both coaches have been working on in training, seeing what shots they do want and what they don't want, and so far they've been getting everything they would want.
That is some fantastic ball movement from the Phoenix in transition. Each player looking forward, finding a teammate, and at the end of it, 5 Ash will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple of free throws. Well, Chloe, 5 Ash, 50% from the free throw line this season, continues with that here.
Yeah, she's going to be a very, very special player when she's older, Chloe 5 Ash. She's only been playing since February last year, and that's really not a lot of time. You know, she's so young and so raw to this game, but you know, she's having such a great impact on this Phoenix team, I think, so far this year, and I definitely can't wait to see her continue to grow and only get better.
And perhaps one of the benefits of the challenges that East London have had in terms of availability of players this year is getting players like that, extended minutes, it's basically time on court speeds up the development, doesn't it? That's the reality of it when you play against top quality players. Steele off balance because she was bumped by Jade Atkin. So it'll be 2 free throws. I think that's the second on Atkin. Well, the shot clock switched off as Steele makes it a 1-point game. 14 seconds left here for the home team to try and get one last score. Well, they're not going to get it from there. They've somehow got to get close enough for the shot to go up, and the buzzer sounds. It was good pressure from East London to take anything away there at the end. But good first quarter, just 1 point between them. Both coaches will be happy with what they're doing offensively, maybe looking to make a few tweaks defensively.
Yeah, definitely. I think so far both teams have got the looks they would want, and are probably, you know, practicing training so many times so far this game. Quite a few times for both teams, you know, things have just rolled out, but that's, you know, that's sport. It either goes in or out, and unfortunately so far it's been a bit of a mixture. But yeah, in terms of the looks they've got, it's pretty much perfect from both sides so far. They haven't really had to try and force shots, which they didn't want. They've got exactly what their game plan is. But defensively, like you said, you know, I think both coaches are going to be a bit disappointed. There's been a few times where, especially Leah Evans, has just drove to that basket so easily, and you know, on the other side, Jude Hamer's got underneath that basket so easily. So I think both coaches are going to have to try and stop this. As if you let players like that start heating up and getting their shots, you don't know how this game can quickly turn. And obviously defense does win games at the end of the day, so I'm sure both are going to want to tighten this up.
I'm sure Tom Guntrip and Carolyn Matthews over in the Cardiff sidelines will be saying we need to also keep them off the offensive glass. They've got a lot of offensive rebounds. They've only scored once off those 7 offensive rebounds. And I know, look, you have to miss shots to get offensive rebounds, but as the field goal percentage comes up, if a team is used to crashing the boards, it can help them as the game goes on, because suddenly some of them are going in, and the ones that are not, you're getting a second go at.
Yeah, of course, and in close games like this, every point does matter. So every time Phoenix get an offensive board, if that's another shot they get, and if, you know, even one goes in, that could be the difference in this game. You know, at the minute it's only a 1 point game, so if you keep letting 2 points slip, that's going to eventually really come back to harm the outcome of this game.
Well, possession hour favouring East London, so Wheeler will inbound from midcourt. Nice pass through the lane. Great offensive rebound, but the pass out is stolen away by Evans. Evans using her chair well to prevent Carrigill from making a play on the ball, and an easy 2.
Yeah, that as soon as Leah Evans starts pushing down that court, I don't think there's anyone here who's going to be catching up to her today. And with her field goal percentage today so far, I don't think she's going to be missing very few of them either.
She's got 9 points already, but Steele gets 2 right back for East London. Just through the hands of Jade Atkins. A little frustrated with herself that she didn't manage to hang on to that.
Yeah, and if I was an East London Phoenix player, I'd be breathing a bit of sigh of relief there, because I'm sure if she caught that was an easy basket there for Jade Atkin.
Carrigill quickly to the basket for the layup. 6 points here for Sophie Carrigill.
Yeah, she's really keeping this East London Phoenix team alive in this game so far, I think. You know, she's given them a bit of life, shooting really well so far, and when the other players aren't necessarily stepping up to the mark so far, she's really, you know, thriving at the minute.
Steele pulls in the rebound. Wheeler looking to up the pace. Five Ash working with her, getting rolling to the basket. Beautiful play from East London.
Yeah, that's lovely. A dish from Wheeler there to the top of Sophie Carrigill. Straight, a lovely bounce pass straight into Five Ash, who scores an easy layup there. That's a beautiful offense. And defensively, I don't think they've done too bad. It's just, you know, when you play such a good offense like that, there's not too much you can do. Good hands from Hamer to steal the ball back. East London with a bit of momentum here in the early part of the second quarter. Here's Five Ash again. Oh, just rims out, and Hill with their defensive rebound. Atkins shot off the mark. Cardiff have gone with the starting 5 for the entirety of the game so far. You wonder if fatigue might be just kicking in a little bit. And certainly East London
are looking very good at the start of this quarter. Another score there for Steele. She'll go to the line. They've scored 8 of the first 10 points here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think it's one of them hard ones as a coach, really, where you know, when your team is winning, even if it is only by 1 point, you want to keep that momentum going, and a sub can either really help the momentum or really damage the momentum. So it's a really big call, and I don't really think it's a bad decision to stick with that 5, as it's such a strong 5. It's a bit of a shame that it did dry up there at the start of this second quarter. But it looked like just before this timeout, Morrow is planning on subbing in, I think. So let's see how that can change the game.
Yeah, I think Morrow and Watson are going to come in for the Archers. But with that bucket going in as well, I think what was going to be a substitution has become a timeout instead. And again, we were talking about the shots that they would want. They've not really taken anything away, and the problem for Cardiff at the minute is 1 or 2 of the ones that East London were missing in the first quarter. They're now scoring, and that is why they have their biggest lead of the game here at 5, and a chance for the biggest lead for either team if Steele can make this free throw. Steele does make the free throw, and it's a 6-point lead.
Yeah, really good game by DB so far. You know, she's picking up the points offensively, and you know, she's the reason for this bit of momentum, really. Her and Carrigill both.
8 points for DB Steele so far, off 3 or 4 shooting and 2 or 3 from the free throw line as well. Here's 5. Ashley's also contributed in terms of scoring as well. She's up to 5, and that'll be the pleasing thing for the Phoenix, is scoring coming from everywhere. It's not just the usual suspects of Hamer and Wheeler. Yeah, of course. You know, when you can have, when there's a concentrated like place where the points coming from, it can be sometimes a bit easy to defend, and so far Cardiff have done really well to like void off the East London Phoenix big threats, but everyone else is really stepping up to the plate. Well, first touch of the ball for Katie Morrow results in 2 points for the Archers. Here is Hamer. The other thing from a coach's point of view is, you know that Hamer's going to get hers and Wheeler's going to get hers at some point in the game. So these other points are just building the lead for you. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, with players like Hamer and Wheeler, as soon as they get their option, they're never going to look not to shoot. And that can even be a deadly thing, even if they're not, like, maybe as consistently going in as they normally do. Just the fact they're still willing to shoot their shot is such a big thing, as you can never switch off them. Just like Hamer did there, you know, she got in that key, had a nice little post up, and and there weren't a nice one. It was over Atkin, but still, you know, she made it look so easy. Well, good defense there from East London, pushing Cardiff to late in the shot clock. Well, Steele, I think, could have got all the way to the basket there. Had a little more space than she realised. Cardiff just 4 points here in the second quarter, which is why they find themselves 8 down. Atkin makes that 6. Yeah, a lovely shot there by Jade. A really nice patient offense from Cardiff, who normally play a bit more transition, but they just showed that when they are stopped and they have to set up, they can still play and cause teams a lot of problems. Hamer wide open at the free throw line. Wheeler almost got the offensive rebound, but it just went out of her reach. And Atkin comes away with it. Has Evans in front. That's good play from Evans to create the space, but can't quite finish. Yeah, I think the East London defense there was quite good, just to cover the 2 players. You know, they weren't quite sure where the ball was going to end up, but they done quite a good job at forcing the 2 Cardiff players to, you know, close each other's gaps up a bit, and they can contest 2 people at one time. Well, Adele Atkin with quite literally a hand in the face there, and call for the foul. Hamer looks a little frustrated that she's going to the line for 2 free throws and not 1 here. She feels like, despite that attention, she probably should have made that shot. Makes both from the free throw line, though. Hamer's personal tally up to 8.
Yeah, she's such an incredible player, Hamer. I was lucky enough to play with her in Turkey last week at Eurocup, and she's just such a phenomenal player. As soon as she gets that mismatch, you know, there is such a little thing teams can do, so consistent, and you know, she really is a great player who, with bundles of experience, you know, you can learn so much off her.
Nice pass. Again, it's the Atkins sisters working well together, and it's Adele going to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was a lovely little pick and roll offense there, where all the focus was on Jade, but Adele slipped through, got a little pick straight off, drive to the basket, and picked up the foul.
No, not easy for a one-pointer from the free throw line. Close on the second. Hamer. Nice pass to Cargill, cutting to the basket, and that was force of will, really. Jude Hamer just blowing past everybody down court.
Yeah, that was a beautiful drive by Hamer there, and what a drive also by Cargill. Called for the ball, and that was a tough finish for a lower point player, but she made it look so effortlessly past the Cardiff defense.
Yeah, you kind of forget that Cargill's only a one-pointer in the classification, because she does so much out on court, and those are the best players you could have, the one-pointers who can do so much. Here she is playing defense. Well, there's not a lot you can do about that if Jade Atkins going to hit that shot.
Exactly, that's what I was just going to say. You know, as a defender, you can't actually do much more. You have to shake their hand at the end of that offense and say, lovely shot. Yeah, so far Cargill has just done everything you want. She's really playing out of her classification range at the minute. You know, she's literally doing everything on the court so far, whether that's bringing the ball up, picking, scoring, defending. You know, she's all over the place right now.
Well, a timeout called by Cardiff as they drop 10 points behind. If you are new to wheelchair basketball, each player has a classification scoring, and there's a limit to the combination that you can have on court. And usually the players who are 4s and 4.5s are the ones that you see putting up the big numbers in terms of in the offense. You know, Jade Atkins is 4.5. Judah Hamer is a 4 category. They're the ones who take almost the highlights, but it's the more often than not the dirty work of the 1s, the 1.5s that create the space, create the mismatches for them. But when you got somebody like Cargill, who's a one-pointer, doing all of that, by the way, but also chipping in with 8 points, couple of rebounds, 4 assists as well. I mean, it's coach's dream.
Yeah, of course, you know, like I said, it's really playing out of your classification right now. Usually the 1s and the 1.5s are left just to do the dirty work and like to help the higher classification players get to where they want to be. But so far, Sophie has literally done all of it. She's helped. I've seen her do numerous picks and curls to get the forwards like right underneath the basket, while also scoring very efficiently, you know, for her personal score as well. So she's just doing a phenomenal job so far in this game.
There almost needs to be an extra statistical category for the low point players, because more often than not they end up the game and there's zeros across the line on the stats, and yet without their contribution the team wouldn't have won the game. But it's hard to quantify.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more with that. I think sometimes the stats are really, really harsh on those players who might not score loads and things like that, but the effect they have on a team is just mind-blowing.
Well, here's Evans with the chance to score for Cardiff, but not taking it. Uncharacteristic miss from her. Steele forced back. Good pressure as well from Atkin. And she might get the reward here, although Five Ash doing a great job to come back and make that a difficult shot. That would have been an easy 2 points there, but the speed of Five Ash to get down court, and okay, she's going to the free throw line, but that would have been a layup, and there's no guarantee that you make both free throws.
Yeah, exactly. And I think even, you know, that foul there, that maybe on another day that might not have been given. You know, I think obviously there was contact there, but you know, it's kind of harsh. I think maybe if the basket went in, it definitely wouldn't have been called, but because it has missed, it's one of them. You kind of have to call it after that. But yeah, I mean, it's great defense, like you said. To score 2 free throws is harder than to make 1 layup. So if Chloe Five-Ash there didn't contest it and it was an easy 2 points, you know, that's light work for Jade Atkin, where now at least she has to put a bit more effort in and, you know, score 2 shots from a lot further out, you know, to pick up them 2 rather than just a nice easy layup.
And again, it's that sort of like message that it sends, that nothing is easy. You think you got a fast break layup, I'm going to at least chase back and make it difficult for you.
Yeah, of course. And she's one of them players who I think to coach her would be lovely, because she's always putting in the effort. Like there, she didn't have to probably push as hard as she can to contest Jade Atkin, but she's willing to do that and, you know, try and contest as much as possible and try and really upset this Cardiff team. And if she can keep stopping them before they get an easy look, you know, that could be a really big deciding factor in this game.
So Atkin will go to the free throw line, looking to cut into this 10-point deficit here with 2.5 minutes to go to halftime. Well, goes 1 for 2, but it comes right back to her. Not quite the reverse 3-point play there. Five-Ash against Atkin in transition. Wheeler right down the middle, and Five-Ash found her, but Wheeler couldn't turn that into an assist. Hamer squares up, front iron. Morrow with the rebound. Space here for Atkin, quickly closed down, but too late, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, no, I think that was quite, to be quite honest, that was quite bad defending there from East London Phoenix. You know, they left their teammate Jude Hamer with 2, which really isolates what she can do.
No, not great defense at the other end as Carrigal gets an easy score. She's into double figures now with 10, the first player in the game to get there.
Yeah, she's having an absolute incredible game, Sophie. Like we said, she's just, like, you know, she's playing just incredibly. She's doing everything you could want so far from a player, not just a one-pointer, but also just as a player. She's scoring, she's assisting, she's defending hard, she's pushing the ball up hard in transition. Like, she's doing everything correct so far. So, you know, a coach's dream player so far in this game.
Here's Wheeler. Approaching the final minute of the first half. It's a half that started with Cardiff leading by as many as 5, but falling double figures behind. Good work on the offensive glass again. This time Morrow gets it, and as ever, you look down court and there's the number 12 shirt of Evans. She's always so lightning quick in the transition.
Yeah, no matter how hard East London Phoenix were going to push there to try and catch up to her, I don't think anyone's going to be catching up to Leah Evans when she's pushing full speed like that up the court.
That's a difficult shot from that sort of range for Five-Ash. Shot clock switched off here. Morrow under pressure. Somebody got her. I don't know if it was Wheeler from behind. It is 13 that's shown to the table. Well, a couple of free throws here. Get a stop in these last 10 seconds. They'll only be down 5 at the half. It wouldn't be the worst outcome. Certainly having been down by 10 at one stage. Second one is good. 10 seconds for East London to try and get down court and get one last score. Here's Branthwaite finding Hamer. Numbers here. Hamer's got Wheeler with her, draws the defense, beautiful pass, and a perfect way to end the first half from East London.
Yeah, that was a brilliant transition offense there from East London Phoenix, with Jude Hamer really pushing the floor really hard to get a nice 2-on-1 situation. Then so composed there, just to dish it into Wheeler for an easy layup there. That's a brilliant finish where I think the Archers were building a lot of momentum. So that's a really good way just to finish the half, to put their, you know, kind of will back in the game.
Well, it was a pick your poison moment, wasn't it, for Adele Atkin? You either don't go to the ball and Jude Hamer scores, or you go to the ball and she's going to find Beth Wheeler underneath for a layup. But East London, the first, what was it, 4 or 5 minutes, the ball, everything seemed to rattle out of the rim, wouldn't go in for them. But since then, they've looked much more efficient at the offensive end of the floor. Their shooting percentage is up to 36. They were down in the low teens in the early stages of the game, so you can see the efficiency improving as the half wore on there.
Yeah, Coulson. As soon as shots start going in and players can see the shots going in, I think it just breeds confidence with the players. As soon as you can see yourself scoring, I think it just feels like you're more in the game than like you was before. Even if it is the exact same, it just feels like you're really now getting into it and, you know, starting to achieve what you want to achieve. And yeah, like at the start, it was a really slow start by Phoenix, but the shots they got weren't bad shots. I think that's important to remember. It weren't like, you know, Cardiff Archers were forcing them to shoot shots where they were uncomfortable shooting. Most of them were shots where if you get them later on in the game, they're going to be scoring on what the players have scored since. You know, it was just one of them things where to begin with, the ball weren't going in, and I think as soon as they started seeing that ball go in, they've shot pretty well since then, which, you know, that's a really good thing for the team to bounce back like that during the game.
Well, probably the biggest difference between the two teams is, despite shooting the ball better overall, the Archers, they've only got 14 points in the paint versus 24 points in the paint at the other end of the floor. And obviously, points in the paint means you're closer to the basket, more likely to make them.
Yeah, of course, you know, at the end of the day, everyone's offense, you want to have a shot inside the key. As like you said, it's the easiest shot you can have. And especially, I think, with the setup, what these two teams have, both teams are more dominant inside the key than out. You know, they don't, except for maybe the likes of Wheeler and Evans, you don't have people who are, you know, massive perimeter players. Most of them are inside the key. So I think that big point difference there, you know, that is the difference in this game so far. Phoenix have got the shots where they want inside the key, and Archers maybe haven't got that so far, except from, you know, the fast break opportunities and when Jade has had a nice mismatch opportunity on the edge of the key.
Well, that's the thing. This is something they want to get to see a lot more of. Leah Evans in the open court, 11 points for her in the first half, and that is one of the key to their offense. It's the way they keep the scoreboard ticking quite often, is by getting Evans out in transition. But in order to do that, you've got to secure the defensive rebound and get the ball down court quickly, because if she's out in front, she doesn't get caught. But you've got to try and get hold of the ball in the first place, and that's been one of the challenges for them, with 10 offensive rebounds for the East London Phoenix. Well, before the game, I managed to catch up with Sam Hill to get her thoughts on the season, and of course the playoffs coming up soon. Well, Sam, at the end of the regular season now, how do you think the year has been for you personally?
I think it's gone very well. I think from our first game, I think the whole team, everyone individually, has made massive improvements, and it's just got way more fun. We've been working together and we've had better outcomes than we did initially. So yeah, it's been good.
And obviously you're playing a team that you played right at the beginning of the season. A heavy defeat then. Last time you played them, it was a bit closer. Hopefully you'll be able to turn that into a win today.
Yeah, you know, this one, the first game, we don't talk about that. That was not the greatest. But this one, we got this. We can have a good game. Yeah.
You might not want to talk about that first game, but in some ways it gives you a reference point. It shows you the development of the team over the course of the year, how much better you've got as a unit.
100%. That first game, we all did play our best. Everyone looked at us and thought, what is this? And now I think we've proved what we can do over the season, over the games against the other teams as well. So I think this game will be good to show what we can do again, and hopefully come away with a win.
And what about yourself? I've watched the season through, seen some great performances from you. How do you feel it's been?
I think it's been great. I think it's been really good. I think playing with such talented people, you develop massively. You learn a lot from the rest of your teammates, from people you're playing against. So I think I've improved massively. The whole team has improved massively, working together really well. It's been a really good season for everyone on the team.
And obviously one last game here today, and then the playoff finals up at the National Championships in a couple of weeks. You must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really exciting weekend to have basketball forward for the whole weekend. I think we're playing Worcester for that game, so another close game. Hopefully we win, come better than last season. It's all in the playoff games really, isn't it? It's the important one. So preparing for that and hopefully smash it.
And as a team, do you feel like you're peaking right in time for the playoffs at the end of the season?
Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but I think we got it. I think we've worked up so good this whole season, getting better and better. So there's no reason why we can't smash it at playoffs.
Well, good luck.
Crossed.
Good luck in that. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, some good performances this year from Sam Hill, most notably the 17 points and 11 rebounds she had early in the season against Worcester. But she spoke with a lot of excitement and confidence about how the team has developed over the course of the season, and how they were looking forward to the playoff games and feeling confident going into them.
Yeah, I think, and they should do as well, to be quite honest. I think, a few results of theirs this year, I think I wouldn't have expected. I think maybe they possibly should have ended this season with a few more wins, but at the end of the day, it happens. Sometimes you don't win games where maybe you should do. That's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. But I think this team have really shown at times what they can do and what they are made of, and that they can play some really fun and exciting basketball. We saw that with the likes of the win over Loughborough and things like that. They've played in games where they've looked like they've really enjoyed themselves, where they've played nice basketball to watch, and they've looked like they actually wanted to play together. I think you could tell that this team have bought into what they want to achieve, and they're really believing in the process rather than being unhappy with maybe a few of the results of the year. They've kind of got their heads together and they're just cracking on with it, and I think that's such a good thing, and it must be a really good environment within the team to be able to have things like that where the results aren't the end of the world and they're out there playing together. And
we have seen a development, I hate to keep mentioning the first game of the season where they were far from their best, but we've seen them grow. You're right, there's been once or twice where you feel like maybe they going into the game they might have expected a little better, but over the course of the year, definitely seen some growth and development in that team. Well, we've heard a little bit from the Cardiff end of the floor. Before the game, I spoke to Beth Wheeler of East London. Well, Beth, at the end of the regular season now, you've been averaging 19 points per game, shooting the ball pretty well. How would you assess your performance this season?
I've had an okay season. I think there's still more to come, but shooting the ball all right. So as a team, we've had a really good season, and come together really well, and it's been a great season.
And of course, all the coaches will say they want a team to develop from the start of the year to be ready for the playoffs. How do you feel the team has developed over the course of the regular season?
The team's developed amazing. I think last week was a testament to that. And the team went without 4 of our bigger backup players, the performance they gave last weekend was just incredible. We were watching from an airport, playing with a men's team over abroad, but it was just incredible last week to watch them play against Loughborough and put up a good fight. It's really good. Yeah,
it's been a bit of a challenge for you guys. Not always had all of your team available, but you seem to have risen to the occasion every time.
Yeah, we had to struggle with injury and illness this year, and it's been a bit of a struggle, but as a team we've come together, and the players that have come out every week have given everything, so it's all you can ask for.
And this Cardiff team, you've played them a couple of times, beat them a couple of times. Relatively close game last time you played them here, though.
Yeah, it was a close game, good game. Cardiff always give up a good fight. So yeah, look for the same today and yeah, go out and get the win.
And obviously the national championships coming up in a couple of weeks. Important for you guys to peak at the right time. Do you think you're just about ready for that?
Yeah, like we've got better every week, and yeah, we've got 2 more weeks out, and yeah, we'll go to the final, and we're in a good place to give Loughborough a game.
Well, good luck in today's game.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, we talked before the game about the challenges they've had just getting everybody on the floor at the same time this season, East London. When everybody is fit and healthy and available, they've got some really talented players out there. Obviously, Amy Conroy is going to be a big miss in any team, and looking forward to the playoffs. They're going to need to be at their very best if they are going to win through.
Yeah, definitely. They've had a really unfortunate season, really, where, you know, they started off really well when they had their full squad. They took a really good game to, like, great teams like Loughborough at Sportstock at UEL. And then, you know, they've kind of been struck with a lot of injuries and off-court, you know, scenarios, which has obviously, you know, it hasn't helped the team. You know, not only Amy Conroy, but Alice, who last game against Cardiff Archers was a really big point offensively. You know, which helped them. I think, you know, she shot really, really well that game, and obviously Amy Conroy is such a massive miss. You know, she's such an influential player for this team and a truly incredible player, to be quite frank. You know, it's really unfortunate. It's all happened quite together, and they haven't had their full squad for such a long time. But like you said, you know, I still think what they do have in this squad is good enough to compete, and, you know, I'm sure as long as they keep working hard and they play their best, who knows what can happen.
And we've seen some of their best, I think, here in this game, particularly as the half wore on. Some of their transition, some of their ball movement, creating great shots for each other. Very unselfish team, looking for a teammate in a better position.
Yeah, exactly. I think we mentioned this earlier about their spread of points so far in this game, and I think that kind of shows the teamwork of this East London group. You know, no one's kind of trying to put it all on themselves to create a lead. They're just doing it naturally over time and as a unit, and I think that's something what their coach Addy has really implemented within this unit. You can see the structure and the discipline is installed, like on the defensive end and the offensive end. You can see how, you know, he's constantly screaming at the players on the sideline to, you know, be the patient and keep trusting what they're working for. And I think, you know, when the players have bought into it, you know, they've played really well and showed like what they can do to teams. You know, offensively they've got so many different looks, and defensively, you know, as much as they haven't got, you know, as tall players as maybe the likes of Jade Atkin and Sam Hill, across the board they're a very tall team on average, so that can only help on the defensive end. And yeah, I think they're a really good group to watch.
And we talked about, you know, when it looked at the lineup at the beginning, we're thinking, oh, where are they going to get the points from? Obviously, Wheeler's a capable scorer, and Hamer is an elite player as well. But as you just touched on there, Steele well above her scoring average. Ash comes and brings 5 points off the bench for them. Carrigill, 10 points as well. Just contributions up and down the roster. A reminder, by the way, of that game tomorrow. You can see that on BBC Sport Worcester against Loughborough Lightning in the final game of the regular season before we all head off to Manchester in 2 weeks' time for the finals weekend. But back to the point, is that will be the most pleasing thing for Coach Addy, is how everybody has contributed in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I briefly mentioned a second ago, there's not necessarily been one player who's like such a clear standout in this game so far for East London Phoenix. They've just all really put in a good shift and all, you know, put their heads down a bit to come back from the deficit, and they're all, you know, grafting hard. Everyone's scoring the ball, and everyone's working hard as a team to cut down their deficit at the beginning to now have their lead. And I think, you know, when you've got a team where it's not just one person, it makes it's so hard to defend, as you've got 5 players who are all capable scorers in this game, which, you know, there's not many teams who can stop 5 players from scoring all at once. You've got to kind of then just damage limitation.
Well, Cardiff went off into the locker rooms at halftime for a discussion about what they might be looking to do differently, and we talked a little bit about maybe trying to get into the paint a little bit more than they've been able to do in the first half, but also defensively they need to take away some of the easier shots that East London have had. Well, they are the first ones to break and head back out onto court. Looks like they're going to go with the 5 that finished the first half, so a change to the starting 5 with Watson and Morrow in the lineup.
Yeah, and I think when the coach made that change, I think that really did give the team a bit of momentum. You know, I think they were 10 points down and they cut that lead down to slightly less, which, you know, as a unit coming on, that's all you can ask for as a coach. And I'm sure these players, you know, are feeling confident they can really start chipping away at the deficit at the start of this half.
Well, Evans will inbound to get the second half underway. Here's Morrow. Looking for options, cross court to Atkin. Watson rolling to the basket, just a little short. Can she get her own rebound? Not quite.
Yeah, that's a really patient and a good offense there where they got a really nice look. You know, Watson done a really good job of getting the pick there for Jade and rolled straight towards that basket. I'm sure if she gets that again, she's going to be more than happy to take that and score.
Wheeler's long rebound almost came back out to her, but Evans is first to it. Evans again, that's tremendous chair control to get to the rim.
Yeah, just what a drive there by Evans. We saw that in the first half. She's such a quick player who's so relentless at getting that space and just getting into the key, as she done there. And unlucky for the East London Phoenix, but lucky for the Archers. The ball just bounced off Hamer there for their ball.
Here's Adele Atkin, gets her own rebound. Needs a little help, finds Jade. And the shot is good for 2.
Yeah, really good job there by Adele. Despite missing the shot, you know, she didn't put her head down for a second. She caught her own rebound, dished it to the sister Jade Atkin for a lovely shot there.
Wheeler. Well, the shot clock's gone all sorts of wonky here, but doesn't matter as Hamer is in to score.
Yeah, really good patience there by Wheeler, just to hold the ball and wait for Hamer to get right underneath the key for an easy finish.
Well, the shot clock is late starting again there. Evans doesn't need much time to get to the rim. Well, here's Brown, having left Watson on the floor in the backcourt. So they've only got 4. And that's going to be a hell ball. And that will bring the pause to the game to allow Neve Watson a little bit of help to get back the right way up at the other end of the floor. Well, I'm not sure Coach Guntrip's quite got the technique here to get her up out of the chair. There we go. So Neve Watson is back in play and we can get back underway. Wheeler closed out by Morrow. Just a foul in the end. It was a good initial closeout.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad foul there by Morrow to give, you know, because if she didn't commit that and just let Wheeler go, she would have had a wide open shot. So I think sometimes, you know, you've got to use your fouls quite tactically there to stop your opposition having an easy look, and that's exactly what she's done.
Well, you get 5 of them. That's the first one she's used, but they do get points for Wheeler in the end off the glass. Atkin Well, those 2 points were made in the backcourt by Atkin and Morrow, keeping Wheeler away from the defensive position she wanted to get back to.
Yeah, definitely. You know, when you've got that the woman out scenario there, they've done a really good job just to wait for Jade then to come back down the court and get an easy look. That was a really good team basketball. Although there might have only been like 1 or 2 passes there for the score, they've done a really good job as a team just to get the best look in that scenario.
Good turn of pace by Morrow under pressure from Cargill. Can't convert.
Yeah, and unlucky on the finish, but a really good drive and shows the confidence Morrow's got there just to take Cargill on one-on-one.
Oh, lovely finish from Sophie Cargill with the finger roll.
Yeah, we're really seeing a Sophie Cargill masterclass today. You know, I think for all young female ones out there, she's really putting on a performance to aspire to today.
Morrow with the offensive rebound, just a little underneath. Actually, the offensive rebound took her back to a slightly better position.
Yeah, and I think Jade got a bit lucky there. You know, the shot could be made out as a pass.
And no luck in that one as Atkin read the pass well to steal it away.
Yeah, and another really good tactical foul there by Hamer on Atkin there. Just to stop the easy look what Leah Evans had as a clear open layup. So like you said, you know, you've got 5 fouls to give, and in that scenario there, I think that's a really good time to use the foul just to stop them getting that easy 2 points. Now they've got to run another set offense to get a good look.
Well, it's the first foul of the game on Jude Hamer. As you say, Leah Evans was underneath the basket. It was an easy layup. It would have been a 6-point game. As it is now, they can call a timeout, regroup a little bit, and get a stop maybe, and then go down the other end, and it'll be a 10-point game. And there's a lot of difference between 10 and 6 psychologically.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, when you are down, every basket you score just gives you that confidence, like we can do this. And I think, you know, if they gave up the possession there or didn't get that steal and East London went down the other end to get that 10 points, you know, you kind of feel like the world's against you a bit, and like, you know, you feel a bit deflated no matter how many times you score, you seem to be scored on. But Jade Atkin was there, was quick reactions, got a nice steal, and like I said, a really good tactical foul by Hamer just to stop the deficit being cut.
Well, it will result in an end-line ball. Let's see if they can get the points that seemed assured before the foul. Here's Evans up top. 17-footer is off the back of the iron. There's a foul on the rebound by Wheeler. Just trying to prevent Morrow from getting the rebound.
Yeah, that's a weak boxer there from Phoenix to even give Cardiff the opportunity to get a rebound there. You know, I'm sure they're going to be disappointed of giving away, you know, 2 really easy, like, well, 2 possible, like, avoidable situations there. They've given to Cardiff easily.
Short on the shot is Atkin. Hamer with the rebound, so that foul does pay off in the end.
Yeah, and I'm sure East London will be breathing a bit of sigh of relief, and I'm sure Cardiff won't be very happy with not making the most of them turnovers.
And it is back out to 10 as Hamer with a great pass to a cutting steal for a layup. Good early positioning from Atkin, but nothing doing. Here's Hamer again, surveying her options. Cargill's the best of them. Atkin gets the rebound. Shot clock down to 5. Evans, does she see it? I don't think she does. And it's going to be a 24-second violation.
Yeah, I'm sure Cardiff are going to be disappointed with that there. No one on the bench told them about that running shot clock there, and I think you know, they're going to be a bit disappointed about it, as that's cheap stuff to give away when, you know, the lead, you are losing by 10 points here. You know, that was quite a good opportunity to start cutting this lead down, and it's a team sport where you need everyone on your bench to be screaming constantly and telling them little things like that. As you know, I know this as a player, you don't necessarily always look at the shot clock, as you're just so focused on playing and trying to get the perfect look, where sometimes, you know, you just have to take a good look.
Well, particularly Evans was on the wing. It's not the easiest place to spot that on the clocks that are on the top of the basket. Archer and Hill into the game for Cardiff. Well, it's the London bench counting down the shot clock, so Hamer knows to get it away. Oh, Atkin suddenly realised her options had reduced, and Hamer made her pay. Hamer under pressure, gets it forward to Wheeler. Wheeler from the elbow. Cargill with the offensive rebound, finds Hamer at the foul line, knocks it down.
Yeah, a good board there by Sophie Carrigal there to look up straight away, dish it into Hamer, who had the mismatch just underneath the free throw line for an easy 2 points there.
Well, for the first time today, East London are 12 points ahead, so that's forced Cardiff into another timeout. And really, part of their problem is they're just going score for score, and that's not going to help them much when they're down by double figures. They've got to try and find a run. You talked about that previous meeting these two teams had, where they had 6 or 7 stops in a row but weren't scoring at the other end. They could do with the 6 or 7 stops again, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely, but I also think it's a bit of the same story again. You know, they've made East London pay for a few of their silly mistakes by forcing a turnover. They just haven't scored from it again, and I think maybe, you know, I'm sure they'll be very frustrated with themselves, as this shouldn't be a 12-point game right now. They, you know, just in that spell there, they had, you know, 3 offenses where they stopped, you know, Phoenix getting out of their half through forcing a turnover and then collecting offensive rebounds. Like, you're doing everything right except for then that final execution, which, you know, hopefully, you know, they will score it if they get another opportunity like that. But, you know, you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get, you know, like that on them good levels of opportunities in a game.
You've got to take them when they come. Can Cardiff get themselves back into this game? There's so much going on at the other end of the floor. It's one of the beauties of wheelchair basketball, is there's so much happens even when the ball's not in play, with teams playing defense and fighting for position, because of the chairs. Position on the court is so much more important than it is in the running game. Yeah, definitely. I think as a player, and also, you know, I don't always credit the refs, but this is where I will give some credit to the refs, that they have a hard job when they officiate these games, because, you know, it's a bit like, unlike able-bodied basketball, where everything is quite, you know, easier to officiate this game. There's so many little things players can do to gain an advantage, what refs constantly have to be watching for, and they do a really good job. Well, there's Carrigal along the baseline. Another beautiful move from Sophie Carrigal. Yeah, what a drive there. That is just beautiful. That a nice baseline cut with a lovely tough finish, you know, over a player who I believe is a 4.5 classification, so, you know, a very able player. And wow, that was lovely. Here's Hill in close, off the glass. She's made up for the weak defense there with getting underneath for an easy score. Got the 2 points back. And gets her hands on that pass that time. Steele. Rebound from Brown, and takes the sensible option of just dropping it into Wheeler for 2. Yeah, a good decision there by Curran, just to drop that into Wheeler, who had the mismatch right inside the key for a nice easy shot. Is there a foul on that? I think there's a foul called. It is on Wheeler. I must admit, I was looking at the other end of the play, so I didn't quite see what happened. Evans, lovely out of bounds play, and 2 more points for Jade Atkin.
Yeah, just a lovely textbook move there from the Cardiff Archers. You know, knew exactly the offense they wanted, and they got it perfectly. Jade Atkin, you know, she doesn't miss many once she's in that kind of position, and she's made East London pay there.
Well, still did a great job to catch that ball, and then had the composure to finish.
Yeah, of course, and you know, just like Cargill, she's really stepped up to the mark today, where she's really put it on this Archers team, where she's scoring really well, and she's got a high number of points so far.
Well, she's got 12 points already to her name, so this is her best scoring game of the season, going past the 11 she had against Loughborough last week. Good hands, not loose, but it comes straight to Evans. Oh, and that's there's a foul there as well. Well, I don't think Jade Atkin realised that at first, because she was frustrated that the ball had gone through her hands and out of bounds, but I think Chloe Five-Ash got called for a foul in there.
Yeah, and I think normally when you know, Atkin is very disappointed with her not catching the ball, that normally doesn't mean that maybe a foul was there, so maybe she has got away with one there.
Hill gets the rebound and converts.
Yeah, really good there, just to grab her own rebound off an unlucky shot, and just to put it away again. You know, this Archers team really need to, this East London Phoenix team really need to do a better job of boxing out and stopping these second chance points.
Well, there's a player down again, so it's 4 on defense, and they managed to come up with the stop. It was Evans who ended up on the floor. Corinne Brown in close proximity again. She very nicely, when Watson went over early, it was right in front of us, and she went, oh, sorry, and then just carried on down court. Sorry, but we're going to go 5 on 4. Got to be polite in all of it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, you know. Yeah, just yeah.
Atkin over to Hill, off the iron. Five-Ash with the rebound. Oh, she's just lost the dribble. And there's going to be a foul as a result of that. Just came off the wheel and got away from her. Well, some discussion going on about that foul. Not quite sure what. You can see Atkin needs a little bit of momentum to try, and it isn't easy for a low pointer from the free throw line to get that distance. Here's Steele again, cutting into the lane, swiped that from behind. But again,
she got double team there.
Taking it right into the heart of the defense, not worrying the fact that it's the two bigs in Atkin and Hill. Steele aggressively, not giving shots though. That's Well, she thought she was shooting, and so did I must admit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the call is there, because as soon as she catch the ball, it was in a shooting position. So I'm not quite sure how that isn't a shooting foul, but, you know. Like I said, it's hard to officiate these games sometimes. So we've got to let them have their odd error.
Well, it needs going to be a heave here from Hill, and she's not even going to get it away, and that will do it for the third quarter. And it's another period won by the visitors. They won that quarter by 4 points, 16-12, and just stretched their lead out to 12. But what I would say is, last time these two teams met on this court, it was at the start of the fourth quarter that the Archers changed up their defense a little bit, came a bit more full court pressure. It caused East London some problems, and they were able to get the stops but without the scores, so maybe that might be an option here with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, definitely. They've almost got nothing to lose now, where they can go for a bit more, and, you know, they can really put all the pressure they've got on the East London Phoenix and see if they've got a mistake in them. As I don't think it's been a perfect performance so far by East London. They've made a few errors when the Cardiff Met Archers have put a lot of pressure on them, so I'm sure they're going to be wanting to exploit that in this quarter and try and cut away this lead to finish on as much of a high as they possibly can, getting ready for the playoffs in Manchester.
Well, don't forget, you can be there in Manchester, see the conclusion of not only the Women's Premier League, but all the National League action, Junior League final as well. It really is a thrilling weekend of wheelchair basketball at the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. 2 weeks today, Saturday and Sunday, and you can get your tickets at the British Wheelchair Basketball website. We're very much looking forward to it, aren't we, Charlie?
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I can't wait. The 2 weeks are going to be a long 2 weeks waiting around for it.
Here's Hamer for East London, given the freedom of the wing there, but can't knock down the shot. Ooh, a little high there for Evans, who did well to haul that one in, tried to thread the needle to Hill. I think there's another foul there. Well, there's been a few where even the person who was fouled wasn't quite sure what it was. Chloe Fiveash, I think, again getting whistled for it.
Yeah, and I think it's a hard one because, you know, even though I think definitely the coach for East London Phoenix is seeing it as a bad call, at least they've been consistent with it. You know, that's something you ask for. At least it is consistent, and they've set the boundary of what they see as a foul, what they don't see as a foul, so the players kind of have to play to that.
Hamer finding Carrigill. Again, Hamer has done some tremendous work in the open court in this game. Always looking for the best option, and because she's such a threat, defense has to be honest, and more often than not she's found the right answer in transition. That is her 7th assist. She's got more assists and more rebounds than she has points. Oh no, she hasn't, just more rebounds than points. 12 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, definitely, you know, she's on for a triple-double this game, definitely, and I think, you know, she hasn't had the greatest shooting days for her expectations, where she probably sets on herself, but, you know, she's done other roles so well today that it almost doesn't matter. You know, she's passed the ball at the perfect times, and when Sophie Carrigill is playing as well as she is today, you know, you've got to keep feeding her the ball into the position where she can score.
Well, 2 chairs interlocked there, so that's why the referee called a halt to proceedings. Be a sideline ball. Jade Atkin with a lot of time to set herself. Those normally go in. Here is Hamer again in the open court. Carrigill pushing hard. This time as the decoy to free up some space for Hamer. And Hamer was just on the baseline as she touched the ball there, so that'll go back to Cardiff. Hill, cross court to Jade Atkin. Adele Atkin rolling to the basket once again and rolling. Oh, I was about to say to 2 points, but not that time.
No, that's really unfortunate there. And, you know, I think today, as much as they haven't got in, Cardiff have done really, really well at getting, you know, inside looks. For instance, Adele has got so many nice shots inside the key, which you know, you can't really be disappointed with as a team, as their looks you would want.
Well, there's another player down. And another one who happens to be very close to Karen Brown again as she went over.
Yeah, she's being ruthless today, Karen Brown, you know, not taking anyone, taking all hostages, I think. And poor Adele Atkins on the floor again.
Well, while that was going on, East London were getting easily to the rim for 2. I think, Charlie, you want to steer clear of Brown on the way out. You'll be over.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going anywhere near. Or if she's not happy with anything was said, I'm putting her in your direction.
Yeah. Here's Hill, done really well to pull that one in, but can't knock down the shot. Here is Brown with the ball. Gets it to Five Ash off the glass. Hill with a long hand out to rebound that. Can Atkin chase that down? Yes, she can. Hamer pushing hard to get back, but couldn't quite catch her up.
Yeah, and you know, Jade's one of them players who, once she's in that position, you know, you kind of just have to try and keep your hands on your wheels for as long as possible so the ref doesn't call a foul, and you know, you got to kind of just go to the baseline ready to inbound it. She's such a clinical player from that kind of range.
Oh, great rebound. That was a real reach for Five Ash to pull that one in. There she is again. And the foul, and the basket. Oh, it's an offensive foul. Well, all the hard work for Chloe Five Ash, but it's wiped off for an offensive foul. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Well, 6:53 to go in the ball game. East London with a 14-point cushion. And a timeout called. That was the 4th personal foul, by the way, on Five Ash. But I don't think coach would be too disappointed. He loved the effort, the rebound, and the coming back in, getting it again, and just keeping the play alive for the team.
Yeah, I think that's a really harsh one there, where she's done everything right, and you know, she's went up to shoot, and a Cardiff player's just stopped right in front of her, and you know, it's good defense, I guess, overall. You know, you can't complain too much, but also Five Ash hasn't done too much wrong there, if that kind of makes sense. You know, she's putting all the effort to get the board. She's dribbled round straight into the key and looked for that shot straight away, and as soon as she shot the ball, she's went into that Cardiff player, and the refs have called it this time.
Well, you take the first 5 minutes or so out of this game, it's been a very, very good performance from East London. Not that they were bad in the first 5 minutes, just that the ball wasn't going in for them. They've shot the ball pretty well since then, and they've looked very good in terms of the ball movement. 23 assists, which, bearing in mind, they've got 25 made field goals, 5 free throws So that could be, what, 28 in essence assists available, and they've got 23. That's pretty good ball movement.
Yeah, that's pretty good efficiency there. That's really not too bad going. And I think, again, that all comes through the spread of points what Phoenix have got. They've done really well, like, as a whole unit. There's not been a, well, I mean, I think my standout player is Sophie Carrigill, but except from that, there hasn't been too much of a standout player so clearly, and they've just done really well all over.
Well, here's Hamer, who in the open court has just about made the right decision every time, but not this time as Evans steals the ball. Oh, here's the one last run. Well, not with passes like that. That's, again, good work from Five Ash with the steal. This time, Hamer takes it to the rim herself and scores at the second attempt.
Yeah, and I'm sure she'll be pleased to see the ball go in this quarter. She's been really unlucky. Everything's just kind of rolled out for her so far in this quarter, but you know, she's off the mark and helping her stats with the rebound. That's what I'd be saying.
Yeah, well, there was a big roar from her, almost in frustration, I think, as you say, that the shooting numbers haven't quite been at her very high standards. The performance certainly has.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things when you've got players like Jude Hamer. You know, even when, you know, the ball might not be going through the basket, at least she's so good all round that she can really help the team in so many different ways, where, you know, just because the ball isn't going through the hoop, she can benefit the team in just every other way possible, like she's done today on the rebound situation and with the assist and the ball movement. You know, she's filled in the slots where she's needed to, which is really good.
Yes, 16 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists, a couple of steals as well. And well, Hamer and Carrigill will get a break. It might well be their last contribution of the game, assuming this five can keep this cushion that they have. Morrow bringing it forward. Here's Ganley trying to get it onto Archer, but he's fouled. Well, adjudged to be a shooting foul. It probably was.
We can give him that one.
Yeah, we can give him that one. Not quite the distance there from Ganley. At the line. The second one does go in.
Yeah, she's got a nice little shoot as well there for that second one, but you know, I'm sure she'll be pleased to see the ball go through the hoop after just coming on for this quarter.
Wheeler to Brown. Rebound, Jade Atkin. Morrow at the free throw line, forced out a little bit. Time ticking down on the shot clock, so she fires up, and another great rebound from Five Ash. She's not the biggest, but she's got 5 rebounds already in this game.
Yeah, and I think her desire to play hard, you know, it makes up for the lack of height.
Wheeler trying to find just enough room for the shot. Misses everything, and that'll Well, it needed to be a shot clock violation or out of bounds. We'll let the statisticians work that one out. It's a turnover either way. Well, I suppose if it's a missed shot and it goes out of bounds, it's not a turnover, it's a team defensive rebound. If I were Cardiff, I'd want that.
Yeah, but then I think because it hasn't touched anything, I think that would be just an out of bounds.
Yeah, it's still a shot attempt though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Here's Morrow with a shot attempt of her own. Wheeler, well, then nobody stops the ball. Branthwaite can't score, neither can Steele or Wheeler. And 3 goes at it, none of them managed to get the scoreboard ticking. Nice shot from Jade Atkin, and she takes her personal tally into the 20s.
Just a phenomenal player, Jade Atkin. You know, I think every time I watch her, she seems to do something different every single time, which is just, you know, just as beneficial to this Cardiff Met team. She's a really like vocal point for this team, so influential and just such a key figure. I think, you know, she's so composed and she really has taken the leadership role of this team on her shoulders, and I think she does it really well. You know, this season I think she's really stepped up to the plate and delivered massive numbers.
Well, she's averaging 18 points per game this season, but this is now the 5th game in a row she's gone past 20 points, really finding her rhythm as the season has gone on in terms of scoring, and that will be good news for Archers fans with the playoffs 2 weeks away. If you can chalk up 20 points straight away for one player, then you're halfway there, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. You're not off to a bad start if one individual player is getting 20 plus a game.
Steele right down the lane. Good pass from Wheeler. Steele at the 2nd attempt. Watson with the rebound, needs a little help trying to get it out, but Branthwaite in the way for the steal. Foul called on Morrow in the key.
Yeah, I think Katie's definitely mastered the old tactical fouling today.
Branthwaite left alone. Morrow got there eventually. Brown just getting the ball, and unfortunately for Brown, her teammate had gone over it in the key, so the referee has to stop the game in that situation. Otherwise Brown might have had an easy score. Well, Steele might get an easy one instead. No, that bobbles out. And that came off Steele's hand last for a Cardiff possession. Well, a timeout call by Cardiff with 2:35 to go. They still trail by 13. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's a long way back from here, but it's not impossible. They could come back, but their problem has been they haven't quite had enough offense over the course of the game to really make a full charge of it. And they've only got 5 points in this quarter. The most points they've scored in any quarter has been 14, and if they get to 14 in this quarter, that won't be enough to win the game.
No, I think maybe this this time out here might be just the coach trying to install a bit of life, because I think from both sides, you know, the game's gone a bit flat now. I think both teams are kind of settling for the result. Obviously, for both coaches' point of view, that's not what they want right now. They're looking at the bigger picture, and with this is their last game for 2 weeks. It's a long time to go without playing, and you don't want it to be your last memory, to be a bit flat and, you know, not at the level what you want to be at. So I'm sure that they want to call this time out just to get a bit of try and get a bit of a buzz back just before the end of this quarter, because even if you lose the game, you know, you can still take positive in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, you can try and win this 2:30, or, you know, set yourself little goals which make the loss not seem as bad.
And Libby Phillips brings it forward. Here's Ganley. Back iron, it comes all the way to Morrow though. That one's a bit short, it's bobbling about in an awkward spot, but between Branthwaite and needs to get over here. Doesn't quite get it over. That was the problem. The original bobble between Branthwaite and Five Ash meant they lost a couple of seconds while they were trying to get possession of the ball.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as that ball would have hit Branthwaite's chair, that the shot clock would have started, which definitely did not help that passing the ball on the halfway there.
Phillips knocks it down. Home fans really enjoying that one. Inside the final 2. Wheeler. Friendly bounce for 2. Into double figures. The 4th player on her team to get there, which shows the diversity of their offense. 4 players in double figures out of 59 is good going. A real battle for the ball there. Won by Five Ash. She's been excellent today off the bench. And a nice pass to Branthwaite.
Yeah, really good move there from Five Ash, just to dribble up the court and find the open look there right underneath the basket. And it's unfortunate that that didn't go in, as that was a really good play there from Five Ash.
Well, I think there was a little warning tomorrow to come out of the key. It wasn't needed, and the 3-second violation was called. Well, probably an offense each left in this one, as East London are going to complete the sweep over Cardiff. The last 2 have both been by this sort of margin. Wheeler with the shot clock being counted down. Well, Five Ash didn't know that was coming. It nearly hit her in the head. Morrow along the baseline. Watson. Is there one last score here? Phillips is going to have to heave it. Gets it to Morrow, and that will do it for the ball game. East London Phoenix have come here for the 2nd time this season, and they've won by 13. And really, that 2nd quarter, where they managed to put 23 points on the board in that period, really got into a rhythm. That was the difference in the game, and Cardiff could never quite close that gap after that.
No, of course, it's really hard when, to begin with, you know, you're playing really well, your shots are dropping, and the other team, their shots aren't dropping. You know, you can really live off that momentum. But unfortunately for Met Archers today, as soon as the ball started going in for Phoenix, you know, the game was kind of like slipping out of their hands from then, and it just kind of seems to be a really hard uphill battle. I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of positives for Cardiff to take away today, like the way they started, and if they could have carried that on, you know, we could have been sitting here talking about a whole different story. But unfortunately today, it just wasn't their day.
And again, another 20-point performance for Jade Atkin to lead the way for the Archers. Evans as well got out in transition a little bit, got 11 points and 6 assists, but it was just that consistent scoring that they struggled with. 46, it's a tough number to win a game on. You probably need a few more than that to be certain of victory.
Yeah, cool. So maybe if you're not playing against a team with such firepower and, you know, the ability to score the ball like Phoenix do, but you know, yeah, 46 points, so that isn't a high enough number to win this game. And like I said, especially against such a scoring power of Phoenix, unless you've got a really group of, you know, elite level defenders, you know, it's a really tough game to win with such a low score.
And at the other end of the floor, 4 players in double figures, as I say, with only 59 points on the board in total. That's quite an achievement, led by Hamer's 16 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. But Cargill was sensational, 8 of 12 shooting, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 16 points, just doing everything for the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think she was my woman of the match today, definitely. All my vote goes to Sophie Cargill. A really good performance when, you know, I think she really helped the team get out of the slump they was in, where the offense wasn't working, but she kind of carried them in and gave that spark of life, whether that was scoring or creating a curl for a big to get underneath the key or making the final pass. You know, she done a lot of things right today to create such easy and effective looks for the team.
Well, I also thought Steele, with her 12 points and 9 rebounds, really contributed where the team needed to. And I was really impressed with 5, Ash, actually. 27 minutes off the bench, 5 points, 7 rebounds. Just seemed to be in the middle of a lot of good things for the team.
Yeah, definitely. She's a player who really involves herself and gets stuck in. She's not afraid of any occasion, and she's not afraid to, you know, have a battle. And I think that's such a special thing to have, especially with how young and raw she is to the game. And when she starts getting that experience and playing more and more at this kind of level, she's just going to be a really scary player for people to come up against.
Well, here's how the standings look after that result. A 6th win of the season for East London, so their regular season campaign comes to an end with a 6-3 record. For the Archers, 3-6, and the final game of the season is at the University of Worcester Arena tomorrow, when the Loughborough Lightning are in town to take on the Wolves, before all eyes then turn to Manchester in a couple of weeks, where we will have the National Basketball Finals for you. Don't forget that Wolves game you can see tomorrow against Loughborough Lightning. Do tune in for that one. But these two teams now, focus will turn, as you say, it's a couple of weeks of preparation before they get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, cool. So I think this is quite a hard time for teams, because, you know, most teams have had their regular season finished now, and it's kind of that wait and anticipation where every practice, you know, it does mean something, but maybe because you haven't got a game on the weekend, it almost feels like you've got the week off, but you don't. And, you know, it could be quite a strange period of time where you've done the season, you're not having to travel to this place and that place every week, but, you know, the most important games of your whole season is only in 2 weeks' time, where that's where, you know, it does really matter. So I think it's a really big opportunity for these players to get back to the drawing board and crack on with the graft of training and, you know, getting back to their best.
Well, yes, indeed. So 59-46, East London have won here. Cardiff Met Archers falling to defeat in their final home game of the season. And I think we can get some reaction now. Tom Guntrip, the coach of Cardiff Met Archers, is with Bethan.
The result you wanted today, but plenty of positives to take away from that team performance. So talk to me about that one. Yeah, the game plan that we came up with as a group was almost quite successful. You know, we didn't want to let Jude Hamer and Beth Wheeler win that game, and combined I think it was 12 of 39 they shot. So for us, that's a positive to take out of that. You know, that we didn't let them get going, we didn't let them win the game. It just happened that Debbie Steele and Sophie Carrigal had some great games, and it's quite unfortunate for us that. But you know, the offensive rebounding is something that we need to look to fix a little bit there. So it's a few small things that have, you know, as a coach, really get under your skin. But the bulk of the game plan tended to work, and it wasn't a massive by any stretch. So, you know, another day, a few more shots dropped for us, and a couple of layups, and suddenly it's a tight game going into the fourth rather than chasing it.
And 2 weeks until National Championship finals. So how will you and the team be preparing for that one?
Yeah, you know, we're going to face the team that I think we face the most in the league. We know what Worcester do, they know what we do, so it'll just be a lot of video. And I think more than anything else, just be making sure every player feels comfortable with all their techniques, so their shooting, just getting up plenty of shots. You know, those games are quite low scoring, so if we feel good shooting, then we know we should be on for a good one, and we're looking forward to righting the wrongs from last year.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Well, taking the positives out of today's game, looking forward to the next game in a couple of weeks' time, and talking about the offense that you need, because obviously they're going to be playing Worcester, and Worcester don't put a massive number on the board either, so that will be one thing that they will be looking to try and exploit if they can get it up. If you get into the 50s, you've got a really good chance.
Yeah, definitely, you know, and I think I do agree. There's a lot of positives to take from this game, but also a lot of learning curves, which is also very good, you know. As I think no matter if you win or lose, there's always positives to take out of every game. And the way they started was really good, you know. They were 1 point ahead of East London Phoenix, so that's definitely a very strong positive. Just unfortunate for them, the kind of steam fell out quite quickly. But again, when you're playing a team with such good scoring power, it's hard to keep that up for a whole game. And you know, sometimes momentum just does keep you going, but momentum does sway either way. And you know, maybe against the Worcester team, they're, like you said, where they're not the highest scorers in the league, maybe there's a lot more room where the momentum can carry you through and give you a bit of a safety cushion, where you've got the time where if momentum does slip, you can get it back. Where with this team, the East London Phoenix, they're so ruthless that as soon as you give them that momentum and get them into the game, you know, they're going to build that lead ahead of you and not let you get back in.
Well, somebody who was very ruthless on the East London team today, Jude Hamer, doing absolutely everything, stuffing the stat sheet. Let's get her thoughts on the game.
Hi, Jude. It's been a busy few weeks for you as we round out the WPL season, and also away with Titans at the Euro Cup games. Good result today. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, today was a bit of an offensive struggle for us, I guess. Like, a few of us had a fairly poor shooting day, but I think we found a way to win as a team. Like, you know, we play to our strengths. Like, we're a quick team, and if we get out in transition, we're really good at finishing layups. And I think it was just a show of like how deep we are on our bench. Obviously, we're missing people like Amy and Alice, but it's good that we can show that we have multiple threats from different places. And I think our defence at times was really strong, and I think that's what helped us.
Perfect. And next up, National Championship finals in 2 weeks' time. So how will you and the team be preparing for that one?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of weeks' time to prepare for that. So we'll have a lot of training in between now and then. Obviously, Loughborough are a very tough side. They've got a lot of depth, a lot of talent. So we'll have to really pull together for that. But I feel like coming off the back of last weekend, the girls really proved what we can do, and I think we've really improved over this season. So it will just be about us coming together as a unit and playing to our strengths and to the whole depth of our bench.
Thank you, Jude. Back to Dan.
Well, she said the Loughborough next in waiting. It doesn't get any easier, but if you want to be the champions, you've got to beat the best teams.
Yeah, of course, definitely. I think at Players it will be a great matchup between both sides. I think, you know, both teams have got some world class players, and you know, at the moment they are the two top teams, quite clear top teams in this division, and I'm sure their matchup is going to be really, really end-to-end and exciting for people who are maybe only just getting into wheelchair basketball. It'll be a great game to first watch. as I'm sure both teams are going to put all on the line and really try and showcase our sport in such a competitive way.
Well, don't forget, there's one more game left in the regular season. That's from the University of Worcester Arena tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So make sure you join us for that as Worcester and Loughborough finish off their campaign. Charlie and I will next be in Manchester for the National Basketball Finals weekend. We're very much looking forward to it. Hope you can join us for that one. But for now, goodbye.